Singapore and Australia are working towards deepening their relations and expanding cooperation to new areas. They will mark 60 years of diplomatic ties next year. At a meeting in Singapore today, ministers from both sides called for ambition as they embark on the next phase of the two countries' Comprehensive Strategic Partnership, or CSP, and build on the progress made in the last 10 years.
CSP 2.0 is an attempt to build on this great track record, and precisely because we are at an inflection point, the contestation between the superpowers, the technological revolution in AI, in biotech, and in renewable energy, is an opportunity for us to double down on our cooperation. And that's why I'm confident that next year when our leaders meet, we'll be able to announce a set of ambitious, future-ready projects which reflect the depth and breadth of our relationship based on strategic trust, a proven track record, and really aiming for the future.
Several existing and new areas of cooperation were highlighted. On the defense front, both countries have agreed to work towards expanding access to each other's defense facilities. The two sides already have close military collaboration, such as in training exercises or through the five-power defense arrangements. In the area of energy transition, Australia has pledged to invest in Singapore's Green Financing Initiative, which will support developments around Southeast Asia. The two countries also want to work on alternative energy sources. As for food security, both sides are looking at increasing Australian exports to Singapore. All of this will build on existing wide-ranging collaborations between the two sides.
So CSP is not just a list of projects that we do, not just a few focus areas that we want to develop. These are important, but what is more important is that through this platform, we build trust and confidence as well as mutual understanding. So we understand each other's interests and concerns, and we can find ways to work together and to forge a common interest.
Singapore and Australia will be exploring ways to increase access to each other's defense facilities as they look to further strengthen defense cooperation. And this includes more frequent Australian visits to Singapore's Air Force and Navy bases, as well as training opportunities in Australia for Singapore's airmen and soldiers. Now, the Singapore Armed Forces has conducted training and exercises in Australia for over 3 decades, with the annual exercise Wallaby being its largest overseas unilateral exercise. The Shoalwater Bay training area in Queensland was recently expanded, paving the way for more large-scale and complex training there.
We hope that by over the next few months, we'll finalize the details. If the defense relationship as outlined by CSP 2.0 is realized, it will result for Singapore that Australia will be one of our closest and most valuable defense partners, and hopefully us to them.
We're looking at how we can do more in terms of working together between our defence science organisations, and we have a greater defence science cooperation between our two countries. And we have a very developed architecture in relation to operating together in respect of logistics. But we both feel that there is an opportunity for us to do more with that architecture. And so part of the way forward will also be looking at how we can explore ways in which we can work more closely together on logistics.
Australia will invest about 65.5 million Singapore dollars into a Singapore initiative to support decarbonisation and sustainable infrastructure across Southeast Asia. Now, the money will go to the Green Investments Partnership under Singapore's Financing Asia's Transition Partnership, or FAST-P initiative. It will support projects in sectors such as renewable energy and storage and electric vehicle infrastructure. Under FAST-P, the Singapore government will pledge up to $500 million to match dollar-for-dollar capital from partners, including other governments and philanthropies.
This is a program that will accelerate the move to net zero in this region, and we are very privileged to be part of that program, and we look forward, just as you are going to make developments here in Southeast Asia to get to that net zero ambition. We want to work with you through our Future Made in Australia program. So it's a great ambition, but it's an achievable ambition.
As Singapore and the world makes the transition to net zero, Singapore says Australia continues to be an important source of natural gas. But Singapore Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim Yong says the countries are working together on low-carbon solutions and alternatives like hydrogen.
Australia has the ambition to be a hydrogen supply centre, and we are also exploring the use of hydrogen and ammonia as hydrogen derivatives. Some of you may know that we do have a pilot project on hydrogen as for both power generation as well as a bunkering fuel. And this is an area of new energy that we are exploring in Australia.
In the area of food security, both countries are looking to make further progress on simplifying the transshipment protocol for Australian meat and meat products through Singapore. Now, Singapore also wants to boost food imports from Australia.
We have chilled chicken imported from Australia, and we continue to explore the possibility of importing other food supplies from Australia, particularly in times of emergency, in times of a critical shortage. We want to see how we can work together to ensure continuity of supply. And these are areas that we'll be looking at in the next iteration of the CSP.
At the joint media conference, the ministers were also asked about how the United States' latest curbs on China's semiconductor industry might affect chip making in Singapore. DPM Gan said the government has been working closely with the industry to help companies adjust to the new environment and seize opportunities that might emerge from this contestation. He said that with new tariffs and trade restrictions, the entire supply chain will be restructured. And this is not restricted to just the semiconductor sector.
There will be new difficulties and new challenges, and there will be trade barriers, and this will result in a change in the supply chain pattern. And we are working with our industries to see how Singapore can continue to seize the opportunities that may arise as a result of this new supply chain pattern, while at the same time addressing the challenges that are faced by our industries.
Australian Foreign Affairs Minister Penny Wong said Australia wants to support ASEAN so that collectively all have the means needed to quickly and effectively diffuse tensions and crises. She noted that now more than ever, preventive architecture is needed to increase resilience. So too, mechanisms to prevent conflict can provide transparency and reassurance. Ms. Wong was speaking at an International Institute for Strategic Studies event.
ASEAN has long understood the importance of collaboration, of engagement, of negotiation of differences, and of acting to shape the region. ASEAN remains vital to the stability of the region, even more so as the rules and norms which underpin peace and stability are being challenged and are being tested.